Welcome to a good evening here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Evening edition. Final one for the night. Charlie, when we are hungry, we come. When we are sad, we come. When we are happy, we come. Consistently, we are coming here with you on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube to have all the conversation that's going on in the world of sports in the last few hours. Some excellent breaking news here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, if you're an investor, then the codes are ready for you. The codes are ready for you. The codes for you to boom tonight once they are still there. Of course, if you're not able to stake, I'm sure by now the matches have started. So you can't stake this evening. But of course, tomorrow morning, tonight, after we win, tomorrow morning, we are going to bring you some more codes on Saturday and on Sunday and on Monday and on Tuesday. We'll bring you all of them here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notification turning. Do choose all. Of course, let me say a very, very good evening and thank you very much to Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Enterprise. Yesumo a spare part dealership enterprise. Every brand of car. They sell Range Rovers. They sell spare parts of Acuras, Hondas, Highlanders, Civics, Toyotas. Every brand of car spare parts. They sell them ambience lights. Headlamps. Opel side mirrors. Opel camera in your side mirror. Boot camera. Every part, windshield, windscreen, airbags, BBR, Yesimo El Abosokai, post office, Abosokai, post office, Abosokai, post office, and that's where Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership L. Call them on 059 313 8221. 059 313 8221. Yesimo, you're the best place that you can get your spare parts. Or you're outside of Accra, we can also send it to you. Just call the number, every part of Ghana, even outside of Ghana, they'll send your stuff to you. Call them on 059 313 8221. And now, Diego jerseys make a ball, my regular football on Thursdays. So, and Diego make a chance at Charlie. My boots, me share size 45 regular sneaker. But in boots, I think I share 44 and tight to me. But I share 44, so the first few games, I'm a break. In 10 years, on my 45. Now 45, the main share socks, football, ballers want socks. No, I bet you my no boots. On my menu be. And Diego's okay, no problem. It was just there. After work, Diego sent the delivery guy to bring me the socks over there. And it was very good boots, well tightened to fit in my boots. F50 and on the map. If you want your boots, if you want your jerseys, if you want your socks to play, if you want anything jersey or football like recreation like, go to Diego Jerseys in Kumasi, High School Junction, or when you do station on my Diego or call Diego on 053 5523 986 053 5523 986 or 054 Call Diego Jerseys. Now, let's get straight into it. See, Marc-Andre ter Stegen in Saint-Sem at FC Barcelona. It's getting really interesting. Very, very interesting. Because to be very honest with you, we all knew that it was going to be really, it will take some financial engineering for Barcelona to be able to register Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But what is going on is that today, as we speak, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is being coaxed and is being told by the board of Barcelona that either he does the niggling back injury pain that has been worrying him, that took him out of 17 games 2 seasons ago, or he has to leave the club. In fact, Marc-Andre ter Stegen as a player knows that that's the short-term issue that he can fix with painkillers and the like. So it wasn't really something that he wanted to deal with. But Barca board, management, technical team have told Marc-Andre ter Stegen that one of the reasons why we decided to bring in Juan Garcia is because of this your back injury. And we know that it worries you. We don't want to go into the season then. We are waiting for our number one goalkeeper who should be dominant and constantly be playing with the team and then be one of the best players in the field of play and then in the treatment too. So if you want to play with Barcelona, make sure that you go and fix that back pain now or you leave the club for us. Charlie, he has allowed Marc-Andre ter Stegen in a certain level of, certain level of dilemma for him because if ter Stegen does the injury repair surgery, let's say in July or in August, he is going to be out until January. Now, if he's out by January, Barca's plan for him is that he will go out on loan so that he can get some game time and match fitness for the World Cup that is going to be next year in June, July. Yes, That is exactly what Marc-Andre ter Stegen is facing today at Football Club Barcelona. He has been told verbatim. Nobody has made words with him. And that is why this morning in front of Sport and El Mundo Deportivo, they were all pointing to a certain, headline that says that Marc-Andre ter Stegen knocked out. Marc-Andre ter Stegen knocked out. And the thing is that the Barca socials, Charlie, they are not happy. Barca socials, they are not excited at all with respect to what is going on in the club. Of course, given everything that has gone on at Football Club Barcelona, they are not good. Because see, before the season started, we were made to understand from Barcelona that they can do that deal for Nico Williams. And when they do the deal, they'll be able to register him. Yesterday, I tweeted at my friend and my brother, Dr. Jima, that, look, as it stands now, Barcelona have still not been able to register Juan Garcia. They have not. And Jima, of course, told me that, Charlie, you don't have to stress about this. We are definitely going to worry him. We are just in the middle of July. We have a long time. We'll register him. I said, yeah, Barca have done it before. They've done it with Koundé. They've done it with Rafinha. Done it with Dani Olmo. They end up registering. But maybe this is the reason why Nico Williams said, you know what, just to go through all of this uncertainty and then to be in a club where you know that you've not been registered. Oh, you'll be registered. Oh, take your time. It's not good for the mental health of certain players that they will know. So maybe this is the reason why Nico Williams decided that, Charlie, let me stay away from this club and then stick with the team that is called Athletic Club de Bilbao, so that I can also see how I'll be able to play consistently there. And that was the main thing. That was the main thing that went on with Nico Williams. And today, Barca have not registered him. And the Barca socials, especially, of course, when somebody says the Barca socials, they're essentially talking about the Barca fans. Barca fans are not happy. They are not happy because Barca were promised Nico Williams, he didn't come. Barca were promised that by the time that the season starts, the one Gamper trophy can be played at the Spotify Camp Nou. I was telling you this morning, the Barca are going to come out to tell everybody know that they can't play the one Gamper there because the stadium is not done and they didn't get approval from the city authority. So one Gamper cannot go on at the Stadio Camp Nou or the Spotify Camp Nou. It can't go on there. And these are some of the things that the Barca board have promised them. See, in context, and to be very honest, you can't take anything away from the current Barca president, Juan Laporta. He has done an excellent job. Even if you compare him to Bartomeu, in fact, he's even a saint when you compare him to Bartomeu. But some of these small things are making the Barca fan base a little bit unhappy about the board and how they are managing their stuff like that when it comes to the decisions of all of that. Because even next season, Barca don't know exactly when they'll be able to return to the Spotify Camp Nou. They don't know exactly when. They know that next season they'll return to the Spotify Camp Nou, but they don't know exactly when they'll return to that place. And it's really worrying. It's really not a good thing for Football Club Barcelona, especially from the fact that today, Luis Diaz, although has not told Liverpool verbatim that he wants to go to Bayern Munich and that he has chosen Liverpool Bayern Munich ahead of Barcelona. But all indications show that it's going to be difficult for Barca to do a deal for Luis Diaz. And then that Luis Diaz is beginning to posture to tell Liverpool that, see, if Bayern coming with a second and a third improved offer aside the 67.5 million, please take the money. Let me go to FC Bayern Munich. Let me go buy it to go and play the ball. And I said this morning that if you look at Oli Hunners, if you look at Karl Heinz Rummenigge, if you look at John Christian Dressen, and all of these top hierarchy Bayern people like Christoph Freund and even coach Vincent Kompany, they view Luis Diaz as the kind of player who walks into the team, has that versatility, who walks into the team, has that ability to be direct, physical, and then brings the ball to you. And I think that almost every time, if I'm analyzing Luis Diaz, the first thing I'll tell you is the directness and the fact that he's incessant. It hasn't stopped coming. And it's one of the things that Bayern think that they need in the attack going into next summer. They think that they need it in the attack going into next season. So don't be surprised. Bild, Kicker, all the German outlets are reported that Bayern look like they'll go back onto the negotiation table to be able to go in there and go and get their man when it comes to Luis Diaz to come in and play some good football for them. It's a very, very good one for them. Big one today. It was official from both sides. Official, both sides. Noni Madueke to Arsenal. See, I just saw a tweet from my brother Rahman Osman, and I think that a lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of football fans have misconstrued what Noni Madueke brings in as a player. Nobody can convince me say Noni Madueke is a good player. Nobody can convince me that Noni Madueke's potential and your world-class potential. I've said it several times. Noni Madueke is the kind of winger that doesn't stop coming. See, my resolve of all of this Noni Madueke brouhaha is that maybe he as a player and his entourage understood that if you look at the kind of wingers that are Arsenal and our Chelsea and you compare them, it is likely for Noni Madueke to start or have more game time at Arsenal that he has to have at Chelsea Football Club. Now, why do I say this? Chelsea have Pedro Neto, who is scoring and being very important for the team, can play on the right wing. Chelsea have a Stavao Willian, somebody who is seen as the biggest Brazilian export in recent times from Brazil. Very, very important. So Chelsea have Cole Palmer, who can also play on the right-hand side. Somebody who's seen as a possible Ballon d'Or winner in future. So, I mean, if you look at that in the context of the quality and the quantity of players that Chelsea have in that region, in that area, also there's a certain Giovanni Quenda who come next season. Maybe it's only prudent and wise that Noni Madueke's entourage for okay, fine, you know what? Let us accept. Let us let the young man go to Arsenal. Let him go and play his football at Arsenal. Because if you compare on the right hand side of Arsenal, it's literally just Bukayo Saka. Literally, it's just Bukayo Saka. So if it's just about the right, then if Bukayo Saka is now on, he can play. It's just two players in that step. If it's on the left-hand side, it's about Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard. These are the kind of players that are there. And Noni Madueke on any day has proven that his numbers, his ability on the field of play shows that he can compete with these players on the left-hand side. So Arsenal really do believe that they've gotten a very good player. I think that his potential. And Rahman Osman was saying something that, I mean, Noni Madueke, his family lives in North London. You know, North London is where Tottenham Hotspur is. Noni Madueke was in Tottenham Hotspur's academy. He played in Tottenham Hotspur's academy. And he ended up playing for Chelsea. Now he has moved to Arsenal. So his family, they are in North London. And Chelsea's in South London, I hear. Anytime he finishes and he plays football, he's done. He goes to North London. He goes to Arsenal, that area, Tottenham Hotspur, that area. So go to his family. He lives with them so that he can live with them. And apparently he's a very grounded guy. Although he likes the hip hop, he likes the auto style, stuff like that. But ultimately, Noni Madueke is a bad person. Of course, I mean, Noni Madueke has been stereotyped, super stereotyped as a Chelsea player for a very long time, and it has affected him. Of course, today he's moving away from the club. What we heard that Chelsea did was that Chelsea for Noni Madueke numbers. And I'm going to compare Elanga numbers. I'm going to compare Kudus numbers. And I'm going to compare all of the other attackers. Right wing is the world league. They want to compare attackers now. Noni Madueke numbers they can match to them. So 60 million a year borrow for Arsenal for any bad numbers. 52 million. Now, ocean list of players that Chelsea are transferred from Arsenal. The way Chelsea two players from Brighton. As Arsenal for so annex Chelsea, two players for it. They are going to Chelsea, they are going to look for a player. Okay, Yossi Benayoun in time, David Luiz, Willian, Raheem Sterling. All of these boys have gone on Jorginho. Everybody have gone on to go and play at Arsenal before. Something that's been very, very interesting on the part of Noni Madueke. So Chelsea have taken their money, something that is seen to be very, very important. Chelsea follow this afternoon. The report is that they are being attentive to a particular player. Now, why do I say this? I told you this morning that there are two sets of profiles that Chelsea wants. Don't discuss player names, discuss profiles. Chelsea have said that they want Morgan Rogers and then they want Gerard Hato. Now, what kind of players are Gerard Hato and then Morgan Rogers? Gerard Hato is the versatile left back area that can play inside, outside, fullback, underlap, overlap, everything. He can do that for you. Whilst when you look at in the middle of the park, what Chelsea have not had is that versatility of a certain number 10 who has the natural dribbling ability of a ball carrier, who also have the low center of gravity to make him press resistant, and also the physical ability to work harder on and off the ball. So that is why the first example that came up was Mohamed Kudus. The second on the list was Morgan Rogers. And the third on the list is this guy that Chelsea are seen to be paying attention to, because Chelsea essentially needs this kind of profile. They need this profile because immediately this profile enters Chelsea, he increases the level at which Chelsea is able to compete and play in certain matches, especially amongst teams that press. If you remember last season, One of the things I kept on saying is that when Chelsea played against most of those middle table teams, they were comfortable to press. They were not worried to press. They would take the game to Chelsea. They'll come 1v1. They'll come in blocks. They'll be physical and stuff like that. In games like this, you don't only need a certain Romeo Lavia. You don't only need the ball playing ability of Moise Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez to be a connector. You don't need that. What you need, apart from your center back like Cole, who can break the lines, you need a central progressive ball carrier. And that's what Chelsea have identified after they asking the initial questions of Morgan Rogers and knowing that the fee is going to be somewhere around 18 million. Chelsea are paying attention to the situation of this boy, Dutch international called Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons. Now, the big thing with Xavi Simons is that Oyela Masia trained boy. Yeah, Xavi Simons, a boy. He had been trained at La Masia. At La Masia, people have trained football technically. Some of the best technical football brains. Essentially, the La Masia is the factory. And the technicality and strength that Xavi Simons has is something that intrigues Chelsea a lot. Again, they believe that the IQ, footballing IQ of Xavi Simons is very important. At some point in time, Xavi Simons was supposed to be one of the best talents in the world. But of course, football at the pro level is really very difficult at the football academy level. Chelsea believe that, one, the boy has the technical ability from his training from the La Masia. He is a brilliant player. And of course, players on the La Masia are really very brilliant. Marco Correa has spoken about the fact that most of the things that he can do technically is because he had his footballing education at the La Masia. So that is very, very important in the context of a brand here, Xavi Simons. Also, so much like Xavi Simons, he's short. He's a little bit short. In fact, he's short, so the center of gravity is low. And these center of gravity players are essentially more, and it's difficult for you to get a ball off them. Again, he's also a dribbler, tight space controller. Almost every place, when you give the ball in a tight space, because he's a dribbler, he works very hard without the ball. He's able to carry the ball forward. He's able to make sure that he pushes forward with the ball. And it's something that you need against teams that press you aggressively well. You need it so that you'll be able to play through. The Man City have same in Kovacic, they have same in Ryan Cherky, they have same in Tijani Reinders. All of these three players, if you go against Man City, they can decide to come with players that have the press resistance ability to play through you, or decide to go long to Erling Haaland. It's the variety in build-up that Enzo Maresca wants to have for his team, and that's why he has added Xavi Simons to one of them. Now, the thing, however, is that any Chelsea will pay attention to our brand friend Xavi Simons. It's not just Chelsea. It's not just Chelsea. Just put that at the back of your mind. It's not only Chelsea who are paying attention to Xavi Simons. In fact, a couple of other clubs are all paying attention to Xavi Simons because the boy has made it clear to RB Leipzig that he wants to leave them. In fact, there were times where last season there were reports that maybe Abrantino probably was going to go back to go to Paris Saint-Germain, because there were times after Barcelona he went on loan to Paris Saint-Germain, played in the Paris Saint-Germain academy, graduated from there, went back to the Netherlands. In the last Euros, he was an important player in Ronald Koeman's that side. So he's a very, very good player. So he wanted to go back to Paris Saint-Germain because generally he wants to leave Leipzig. He wants a bigger opportunity. He wants to compete for trophies. He wants to be one of the most important players in a bigger team from RB Leipzig. So he has told them that he wants to go, and Arsenal are also very much interested in our brand here, your friend Xavi Simons or the back. The thing, however, is that all of these clubs, Chelsea follow our initial inquiries. Chelsea follow have made initial inquiries on our brand here, friend Xavi Simons, and what they want to do is that they want to understand how much it will take for Xavi Simons to move, how much it's involved in the Xavi Simons deal, how much today it's going to cost them, even if they want to negotiate for Xavi Simons to move from football club RB Leipzig and then move to Chelsea Football Club for him to be one of those players that they move in to get a job done for them. So Chelsea are very, very keen on Xavi Simons. So it means that now those central ball carriers, that's what Chelsea do. Remember when Chelsea wanted the versatile center forward in Joao Pedro, the list was Hugo Ekitike and others. There was Joao Pedro in there. They went for Joao Pedro. So they'll do all the analysis. The data guys sit down, the analytical team will sit down. They do the analysis, and then of course they arrive at one name that they are going to attack ferociously. So Chelsea essentially are waiting for Xavi Simons. Although there have been no bids that have been sent to him, no official bid, no formal bid. They've only done inquiries, and they have been more attentive to Xavi Simons to become a Chelsea player in the next few hours. Today, this morning, we all showed this. I mean, catch Richard who catch him now? Said there was no way Manchester United who are going to pay 70 million for Brentford friend Brian Mbeumo. But we wake up, we didn't even finish the show, and I get a notification on my phone that Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United is done. And it's going to be done for 71 million, more than the 70 million that I predicted. And our rich can't say anything. But you see, if you're a Manchester United fan, don't worry about the money. See, if you're a football fan, I don't know why football fans worry so much about money. Do not worry about money. Do not worry about money. You don't pay that money. What your job as a football fan should be is that at the end of the day, does the player improve the team? If the player comes saying he doesn't improve the team, then you have to get worried. If the player, I mean, if you talk about someone like Anthony, like this, when he came to Manchester United, he didn't do anything for the club. He didn't, and United did not benefit from him. When you talk of even somebody like even Rasmus Hojlund, the club has not benefited from him. They can. It's a matter of time. I mean, the boy is not a bad player. If things go right, you can get the best out of Rasmus Hojlund. So if you have fun, don't worry too much. And that's why I was asking Rich that why is he worried about the money that Manchester United are going to pay for Brian Mbeumo? Is Brian Mbeumo worth that amount of money? Yes, completely. Completely. In today's market, somebody that scores you 20 goals a season in the Premier League alone is worth that amount of money. He is worth that amount of money. And 71 million, Manchester United are going to bring Brian Mbeumo to Old Trafford. Something I find very intriguing. I think that's something that Manchester United needed to do. I said it before the season ended that there are two ways Manchester United can attack this summer. One, go very aggressive with experience and hope that you can get a short-term success and leverage on that to have certain level of success and maybe make it more consistent. Two, throw away all of these experienced boys, go to Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain model, buy young players, buy a progressive manager, give them a progressive manager and give them time. Don't worry about what anybody says. Give them time. Man United, it's a big brand. It's a huge brand. They believe strongly that they need to win. And of course, if you look at the kind of financial commitment that's around in and around Manchester United, yesterday I was showing a graphic of Snapdragon paying 72 million euros, showing a graphic of how Adidas is paying 100 more euros to Manchester United. Obviously, they need to make sure they keep that going. So how do they keep that going? They need to go onto the market and then start winning something, buying players that can help them win in the short term. And that's why Manchester United have gone to buy two players who have a goal contribution together in the English Premier League, 35 goal contributions last season. Matthias Cunha and then a Brentford friend Brian Mbeumo are going to give Manchester United. They gave last season, they gave their various teams combined 35 goals last season. That's important. In Manchester United, they had 35 goals. Manchester United, a team that was getting to almost the negatives in terms of goal difference. If they get 35 goals in their team, that is huge for them. But see, even before I talk about more data from the perspective of Brian Mbeumo, it's important to understand this. Again, for me, I analyze a lot of things devoid of just data. You can't use data as a standalone. And that's why almost every time, sometimes supercomputer will say make mistakes and stuff like that. It's important. Super data is very important. In fact, it's so important. But you use data in conjunction with the items. You use data in conjunction with the context of why you need a player. Manchester United needs a Brentford Brian Mbeumo because of one, he is somebody that raises the standards. Brian Mbeumo wants to win. At Brentford, he played in a team where, although it's a middle table team, Thomas Frank pushed that team to win. It's the same for Matthias Cunha. He is not the kind of guy that wants to settle for less. Matthias Cunha don't want to settle for less. He wants to win. So these two guys essentially raise the standards of Manchester United. Add Bruno Fernandes to it. It's a standard raiser. So Manchester United are playing against a small team and they are losing 1-0 or they are drawing 0-0. These guys essentially will push the other players to come in to go and win. It's very important if you want to go on the tangent that Manchester United want to go, the short-term success, and I hope that you can platform that to win consistently. It's important about Manchester United to do that. But even away from that, the physicality of Brian Mbeumo is very important. There are only a few players in the world that are as physical as Brian Mbeumo in attacking third. And I'll show you the data that will prove to you that Brian Mbeumo is able to do these things and even more. Very physical, very combative, wins his duels, plays forward. It's an integral part of his game. And if you look at the numbers last season, throughout the English Premier League season, Brian Mbeumo was in the top 5 of goals. Yes, I'm not the one who's saying it. Brian Mbeumo, he was in the top 5 of goals last season. Goals scored in the Premier League. Goals scored in the Premier League. Brian Mbeumo was in top 5. And he was fourth, scored 20 goals last season. Last season, in terms of XG's assists, creating chances and assisting, that ended in goals. His combination with Johan Wissa was proved to be very, very important. And lastly, you remember this morning, I was talking about the fact that Johan Wissa has 19 goals last season. Non-penalty goals, 19. Non-penalty, 19. That is huge over there for Johan Wissa. And he was first. Brian Mbeumo was first for XG's assist or XG's he creates an assist from those edges. So Brian Mbeumo was the first over there. And then of course the crosses attempted, Brian Mbeumo was also the first in the league. The kilometers covered. And that's why I told you that he works so hard, works aggressive, covers a lot of ground, win dwells, plays forward, does all of those things. Brian Mbeumo was also that guy who covers the third most kilometers in the English Premier League that season. So you have a player that covers the 10 most kilometers in the season over the years. He works very hard. It was also in the team structure that he was in. Let us not forget that at Manchester United, Ruben Amorim would have to build a team structure that allows Brian Mbeumo to work hard, cover a lot of ground, to be very physical, be combative, 10 possession over and do stuff like that. Else, he would not be able to churn out these numbers this season. Last season, in terms of sprints, the players that made the most sprints in the English Premier League, Brian Mbeumo was the third also in that regard. So essentially, Manchester United are buying a good profile of a player, they are buying a very, very good player that can come in and then do all sorts of good work for them. Something that seems to be very, very good for Manchester United. Of course, we'll see how that is going to pan out, God willing, this season for Manchester United and the kind of quality that brings to them in their team. Of course, if you look at the things that are going on over there on other side, Dani Ceballos from Madrid. Today, the Madrid players had a good conversation. Jude Bellingham has finally done that shoulder injury that has been worrying him for a very, very long time. Jude has finally done and worked out the shoulder injury for Real Madrid. He has sorted it out. And we are hearing, they said, club, your friend Real Betis, said, Obo Parbrente, your friend Dani Ceballos from Real Madrid. Madrid for no said tempo controller. I think that if Dani Ceballos goes, then ultimately, Madrid will look for a tempo controller. Ultimately, they will find a tempo controller and they will need to get one. And they get somebody that will come in and play the football for them. They will need to get one over there. Of course, Fran Garcia is also a player, AC Milan for after getting Abrantia, your brother, Luka Modric, AC Milan for Omope. Fran Garcia will come in and can also play for them all with team because they need a lot more from their players next season. They want to make sure star players will come in and get the job. That Nicholas Jackson, what we are hearing is that next season, Dr. Kofi and a lot of the Chelsea fans who wanted Nicholas Jackson to go, though, please, next season, we expect that Nicholas Jackson will be a Chelsea player. According to a lot of the reporters coming from England, it's reported that next season, Chelsea expect to have Nicholas Jackson in their ranks as their player, unless something drastic happens. And that's where the Benjamin Sesko story that I was telling you about this morning came about. So if Nicholas Jackson goes, then obviously Chelsea would have to go to the market for another striker. Maybe it's going to be a Benjamin Sesko. Maybe it's not going to be a Benjamin Sesko. Maybe it's going to be another player of that matter. But of course, we are expecting that Nicholas Jackson is going to be a Chelsea player, God willing, next season. Still, Madrid have not given that contract extension to Vinicius Jr. And today was the wedding of Hendrik, a young player, 18, 19 years of age, marrying a 23-year-old man. That is not a problem. That is not my problem. It's not anybody's problem. The young woman said, we didn't know that Hendrik was a footballer when he saw him, and then he was attracted to him, saw him as a beautiful man, and he liked his attitude, so he went in for. Whether that is true or not, again, that is not my problem. That is Hendrik's problem. He has to take care of it. We wish him happy marriage. Congratulations to him, and of course, on behalf of all Chelsea fans, also congratulations and good luck to Noni Madueke. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, your best football tactical analysis channel. I'm very sorry I had a block nose, but I still had to go through and shoot this for you. So I hope you did enjoy it. I will see you, God willing, tomorrow morning over here, and of course on Love FM and then on the show and subsequently across. So enjoy, take care of yourself, don't do what I'll do, and then I'll see you later. The Fiifi-Manfred Studios is in progress. Very soon, we see it up. Can do some more analysis, some more guys there. See you. Bye bye.